and welcome to Jan's Views on Crime. Today I want to talk about the case of Celeste Riva Hernandez and David D4VD. I mean, his name's David. Yeah, let's just call him David. So I think in this case we should begin looking at the most important person here, and that is the victim. The victim was a young lady, a very young lady. She was 14 years of age, described as shy, quiet, and it's astonishing to learn that she was actually missing for a whole year before her body was discovered in the Tesla belonging to David. It has to be said that this isn't the first time that Celeste had run away from home. And I can't help but ask the question, why? Was it because she'd met somebody online, somebody that she felt she was in love with? And I understand the time before this time she went missing was on Valentine's Day. Is that significant? I think perhaps it is. So this is the missing person poster that was put out from the Riverside Sheriff. And I mean, it's sad because when you see where it says last seen wearing grey pants and a black sweater, a hat, and Hello Kitty sandals. Hello Kitty sandals. Yeah, it's that sort of brings it home to me. She was a child. Her body was discovered in the boot or the trunk of David's Tesla, which was in Hollywood Hills. Now, that was a fair distance from where Celeste actually came from. Celeste came from California, quite a distance away from Hollywood, which is where the car had, it seemed to have been abandoned. Neighbours were beginning to complain, and so the police moved it to somewhere else, and then they moved it somewhere else again. And eventually it was taken away to go to a compound. And it was then that it was noticed that, there was a pungent smell coming from the car, and also there seemed to be an awful lot of flies buzzing around. And it was at this point that the gruesome discovery was made, and the poor young girl with the name of Celeste was discovered. She certainly looked older than 14, didn't she? Bless her. It's hard to believe that she was missing for over a year. I mean, my God, what did her parents go through? And even though she'd been missing before, she did go back home again. But it does make you think, did they imagine that she was going to return home again? I don't know. I really want to focus on her in this part of the video because, as I said earlier, I truly believe that she is the most important person here. It's very difficult, isn't it, when something involves a celeb, in inverted commas, for people to just, concentrate on them. I'm not really interested in him. I didn't know him from Adam until this happened, before I did my research. But all I will say is this beautiful young girl is no longer with us, and I think we need to remember that. And if this David is the guilty party, then I hope that he goes away forever and the day. It seems that people have been looking at Celeste's Instagram, and there have been posts deleted, which is really, really interesting. It's like, well, who's deleting her posts? Is it family members? Apparently, her sister was running the Instagram. Is she deleting the post? There's so many clues as to links that she may have had with this David. But I think we have to be careful in speculating. It's like with any other case. We can only go on the evidence that's put out there, and it's so hard in today's world to know what is real and what isn't, because of AI and because of other technological things, skills and equipment open to people. It's very difficult, isn't it, to know what is true and what is false. But apparently, the fact that some of her Instagram comments or posts have been deleted is quite, yeah, quite interesting, I would say. At present, I don't know an awful lot about her family life, but it seems to me that she there's a video of her coming out of a off license. We call them off licenses over here, somewhere where she could go and buy drink. Did she buy drink on that day? I don't know. But I think that's the last CCTV footage of her coming out of that shop. It looks as if she's got something in her hand. It could be drink, it could be anything. But that is the last footage available apparently at the moment. So okay, she's 14, she's allowed out and about. I know, 14-year-olds do go out and about, but I think the thing that really startles me about this is that why haven't we heard of this case before? I mean, I need to do some research and see if this case was an unsolved missing persons case prior to her discovery. So let's have a look and see whether her case was covered before this latest discovery. So I put in, let's put that up for you. So I put in her name, and as you can see, well, I mean, it's quite obvious that there's a lot of information about the ongoing case now, but what I'm interested to find is whether or not her case, the Celeste Rivas Hernandez case, was covered, considering she was missing for a year. So I'm not really interested in the most recent ones now. As you can see, 13 hours ago, 14 hours ago. I want to see if anyone was actually talking about her years ago, or a year ago, put it that way. So let's go down. 7 hours ago, 5 days ago. What do you think, guys? And if not, if we can't find it, why? Why was the case of a 14-year-old girl missing for a year? Why was that not covered? Do you see what I'm getting at, guys? So I'm just going to go down and down and down. I might actually put some music over this one, just so that we can just go down and see. I mean, obviously, it's all like 11 days ago. That's that one. 7 days ago. So, I'll tell you what we're going to do now. We'll put that there. Then let's put missing. Okay, and let's see Again, the top one's always going to be the mainstream media. You know how I feel about that. Okay, apparently there's a video of Celeste in shouting match that rewrites the timeline in the David case. Okay. So, in putting missing, surely something should come up about somebody covering the case at least 6 months ago, at the very least. Where is it? Where are the people talking about this young girl who was 13, 14 at the time? In fact, she had gone missing twice, hadn't she? This was the second time. The first time, I believe, was on Valentine's Day. That's quite interesting, the timing of that. And of course, this time she didn't come back. So I'm very disappointed to see that it appears that nobody spoke up about her when she was missing. And just, yeah. So we've got so many rumours going on here, as you can see. Pregnant, was she pregnant? And that's why, the unthinkable happened. I don't know. You have to take, I'm not saying take it with a pinch of salt, but I think you have to choose your source of information, where you get your information from. So I think I could be sat here for a good hour before I find anything that's longer than 2 weeks ago. So that's just a point I wanted to make for you. Okay, now what's this one? This is, oh no, that's 2 weeks ago. And that's a different Hernandez. Okay, so I think I've made my point for you guys. It's a sad realization that is it just being spoken about because it's quite possibly involving a famous singer? I don't know. So what an old world we live in, isn't it, guys? It's shocking how she was discovered. She was decomposed, which means that she had been deceased for a significant amount of time, and she was also dismembered, which is horrifying. So what's that about? Was she dismembered because the perpetrator didn't want people to know who she was? That's normally what happens, isn't it, guys? Yeah, I think that's probably all I can say about Celeste at the moment. May she rest in peace. I'm now going to talk about the alleged accused, put it that way. Here we have David standing outside the Hollywood Hills house that was rented. Apparently it was rented in his manager's name. Apparently he's got very famous, or he got famous as a singer-songwriter who originally started online playing games, playing Fortnite. And it's also been suggested that perhaps he met Celeste whilst playing Fortnite and formed a relationship with her. What we need to be aware of is that David is now 20. So, and Celeste, as you know, was 14 when she died. It would seem that Celeste often played Fortnite and that she was 12 at the time. Now, that's not good, is it, guys? So these are the links between this young man, David, spelt with a 4 in the middle of it randomly, and this young girl. whose body was discovered in his Tesla. What are your thoughts on that, guys? It's been said that his house was thoroughly searched and that very soon afterwards, or maybe before, he moved out. Also, very interesting is that he's now lost all his brand campaigns and his tours have been cancelled. So it would seem that nobody wants to touch him. I mean, professionally. Please give me your thoughts. I'm really interested, always interested in what you have got to say. It's been said that their relationship may well have spanned many, many months. And there's even been speculation that this song here was written about Celeste. Now, we've got the verse here. Is this the same Celeste he was writing about? What do you think? So if I read it, it says, "Oh, Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed. Oh, Celeste. Afraid you'll only love me when undressed, but you look so damn gorgeous in that dress. Missing you so much makes me depressed, but I digress, because..." I mean, what's the next word? I love you, Celeste. So, all, all fingers are quite understandably pointing at David. We have the finger tattoo that is being shared online, and apparently it's the same tattoo that David has on his finger. Now, apparently it is quite a common tattoo, but it just kind of seems a little bit weird that he's writing songs using the name Celeste, and here she is in one of her Instagram posts with the same tattoo. What do you make of that? Is it just purely coincidence? Or is there something in it? What do you think, guys? One thing that I found quite interesting and concerning is that David seems to be preoccupied with blood and gore and death. I mean, his song lyrics can be seen as very chilling, and even his videos include death scenes. There's one where he's dragging a body along the ground in the middle of a forest or somewhere. They're very, very dark. And I've also learned that his sets on stage when he's performing are also very, very dark. Now, as somebody who has watched an awful lot of crime, true crime videos, for me, it makes me feel very uncomfortable to learn that this person most definitely seems to have a hyper focus on the macabre. I've heard people asking, well, is it a crime of passion? Was it a planned cover up? I mean, I don't know, guys. But in my opinion, it's not looking good for David. There's nothing being confirmed by authorities, which again is quite interesting. But it does happen sometimes, especially when it's a famous person in the spotlight. As of today, there's nothing that's been confirmed by the authorities. So there's a lot to unpack in this story, I feel. I'm going to be looking at it and hopefully keeping up with what's happening. I want to ask if you're okay, if you're taking care of yourselves, and looking forward to the autumn months. Autumn's quite nice. I don't mind it. I like the summer because I spend a lot of time outdoors, but I do kind of like it when we can sort of get nice, warm and toasty in our homes. So I hope you are looking after yourselves and taking care of yourselves out there, because trust me, it's a rotten old world. So until the next one, bye bye for now.